This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Friday, February 28th, 2020. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. The Annapolis Police Department has arrested a Clay Street man and charged him with assault after he threatened an Eastport woman with a long gun. Over the weekend, police responded to the Harbor House community in the Eastport section of Annapolis for a reported assault. The female victim reported that a male suspect known to her came to her apartment door with a long gun and threatened to shoot a man who frequents the apartment. She didn't open the door. She did call the police to report it a little bit later. The man was identified as a 25-year-old from Clay Street, and after the Annapolis Police Department obtained an arrest and a search warrant for his house, they discovered 2 rifles, a shotgun, as well as magazines and ammunition. He was placed under arrest and charged with first and second-degree assault, reckless endangerment, and use of firearm in a violent crime. That arrest happened on Wednesday, and currently he is being held at the Jennifer Road Detention Facility without any bond. In a press conference yesterday afternoon, Maryland's Governor Larry Hogan said that 2 people in Maryland who have recently traveled to China are now being tested for possible coronavirus. Hogan said that they did meet the criteria from the CDC, which basically means now that the CDC will examine their cases and determine if they actually have the virus. Dr. Fran Phillips with the Maryland Department of Health said that it will take 2 to 3 days to receive the test results, and currently the 2 patients who are being tested are being quarantined at home. They did not identify who or where those patients currently are. Speaking of coronavirus, you want to head on over to eyeonannapolis.net, and Dr. Michael Freedman, who is with Evolve Direct Primary Care, wrote a really good article for us about the coronavirus and why Maryland should start to worry about it at this point. Just some points out of it, and there's a lot of really good information and links and resources, but just a couple things that I took out of it was that in 2003, the SARS outbreak had a 10% mortality rate. Coronavirus right now is only at a 0.07. However, SARS was a relatively small outbreak compared to what this is or possibly what it could be. To sort of put that into perspective, he said that with a 0.1% mortality rate for the standard flu, typically in the U.S. we have 56,000 people dying every year. With a death toll of 0.7%, depending on how widespread the outbreak might be, and that's one of the big questions that we don't know, it could possibly result in hundreds of thousands of people in the U.S. dying. So it's not something to take lightly. Right now, there have been 59 cases reported in the United States. Maryland has not confirmed any cases of the virus as of yet. How to prevent it, he says, it's the obvious stuff. It's a virus. It's not treatable with penicillin or anything like that. Wash your hands frequently and thoroughly, at least 20 seconds, or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid touching your face, particularly your eyes, nose, and mouth. And clean and disinfect surfaces or objects that other people may have touched using an alcohol wipe. Again, I suggest you go to eyeonannapolis.net. Check out that article there. I will have that pinned to the top so you can see it. In county school news, we have another situation of a noose. This one is down at Southern Middle School, and on Tuesday, the school district sent home a letter to parents about the incident that occurred the prior Friday. In a letter to families, the principal, Kevin Buckley, says that students were working in groups to create pulley systems from ropes. One of the students began working independently and crafted a device that more resembled a noose than a pulley. That device, along with several others being fashioned by the other student groups, was suspended from the ceiling. Now, the teacher in the class was alerted to this device on Monday. I'm not sure why she didn't get alerted to it on Friday when it was hanging from the ceiling, by a student in another class. The device was removed. The administration had launched an investigation at that point. They have identified the student involved, and they said that he had made an offhanded comment about creating a noose to others in the classroom. In the letter, the principal said, "I want to assure you that we have taken the appropriate action with regard to the student involved in this matter. I also want to be very clear, we will not accept bias-motivated actions such as this anywhere in our school." Well, once again, another noose in the schools. Some better news from Anne Arundel County Public Schools. 6 educators, 2 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, 1 high school, and 1 CAT South make up the field of finalists for the 2020 Anne Arundel County Public School Teachers of the Year. So congratulations go out to Lindsay Breach, a 4th grade teacher at Glendale Elementary, Emily Davis, a language arts teacher at Brooklyn Park Middle, Molly Dwyer, a special ed teacher at Wall Chapel Elementary School, Tema Encarnacion, an ESOL teacher at Annapolis High School, David Foley, a Marine Service Tech teacher at the CAT South, and Hope Turner, a language arts teacher at Marley Middle School. In addition to those 6, 2 teachers were named as finalists for the Independent Schools Teacher of the Year Award. That would be Camille Bauman, a science teacher at St. Mary's High School, and Lorraine Olchowski, an art teacher at St. Mary's Elementary School. They will be among the 50 public school teachers and 5 independent school teachers honored at the 34th Annual Excellence in Education Award dinner scheduled for April 16th. And as we wrap it up, let's slide on up into Baltimore. Catherine Pugh, former mayor of Baltimore, was sentenced to 3 years in prison yesterday, followed by 3 years of probation. She pleaded guilty to federal conspiracy and tax evasion charges back in November, and her attorney suggested a 1-year sentence while prosecutors were asking for nearly 5 years. In the end, U.S. District Judge Deborah Chasenow said 3 years seemed to be the right number, and she also ordered Pugh to pay more than $411,000 in restitution and to forfeit nearly $670,000 in property. I think Baltimore is glad to put that chapter behind them and perhaps start to write a new chapter with the elections that are coming up. And if anybody's listening from Baltimore, take a solid look at T.J. Smith. I think he might be your next mayor. All right, that does wrap it up for the news today. Please make sure you're checking out eyeonannapolis.net throughout the day for these stories and more as they come in. Give us a rating or a review if you're someplace that you can do that, and let your friends and family and colleagues know about us as well. It is Friday. We've got a short list of things that you may want to consider doing this weekend, and as we have all the time, we have George Young with your local DMV weather forecast. All of that coming up in just 1 minute.
Please join Anne Arundel Medical Center Foundation and presenting sponsor First National Bank Saturday, April 25th in Annapolis at the AAMC Foundation's Denim and Diamonds Bash. The 2020 Denim and Diamonds Bash is an important opportunity to provide critical funding for vital health services, including adult and pediatric mental health and substance abuse, evaluation, care, and navigation. Denim and Diamonds is a wonderful evening under the stars, featuring fabulous cuisine, gourmet food trucks, silent auction, and dancing to the Reagan years, all to support expanding mental health and addiction care in our community. Tickets are on sale. To purchase tickets before they sell out, please visit aamcdenimanddiamonds.org. Special thanks to our platinum sponsors, Anne Arundel Dermatology, AAMC Medical Staff, Buck Distributing Company, Comcast, Event EQ, Main and Market, What's Up Media, and WRNR.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Friday, February 28th. Yesterday was a brisk one and then some, with temps in the 40s and winds gusting over 40 miles per hour much of the day, with a gust of 51 miles per hour recorded at BWI Airport. And today and tomorrow will bring more of the same, cold air with even colder wind chills, with highs in the 40s today and near 40 tomorrow to kick off the weekend, with winds remaining breezy both days, gusting up to 25 or maybe even 30 miles per hour each day before calming down for Sunday, which will be much nicer with calm skies and nice temps near 50 for highs. And while next Monday we'll start off with a decent amount of sunshine and temps in the 50s, the expectation at this point is for rain Tuesday and Wednesday, with highs each day in the 60s. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great weekend out there, and be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching the Apple or Google App Stores for DCMDVA Weather, and also follow us on Facebook and Twitter and on our website at dmvweather.com so you can always stay weather informed.
Here's to the teacher who spends her weekend helping children who need a little extra attention. To the soldier who missed the birth of his baby while serving overseas. To the EMT working full-time and taking night classes. To the police officers and firefighters working long hours away from their families to keep our families safe. Here's to you, our hometown heroes. I'm Alan Hyatt, Chairman and President of Severn Bank, and we know there are many heroes among us. Men and women who serve without expecting anything in return. Which is why we're honored to offer our Hometown Heroes program to educators, law enforcement officers, firefighters, first responders, healthcare workers, and military personnel. Whether you're opening a checking account or buying a new home, we're here to give back to you. Learn more about our Hometown Heroes program at severnbank.com. Severn Bank, here with you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Every weekend, there's something exciting going on in the Annapolis area. Be sure to visit eyeonannapolis.net to sign up for a newsletter highlighting all the weekend events. Here are our top picks for this weekend.
You can tell it's getting close to spring when the calendar starts filling up on the weekend, and boy, there's a bunch of stuff going on this weekend. Let's get underway tonight over at the Naval Academy at Alumni Hall at 7 p.m. It is the 79th Annual Brigade Boxing Championships. If you saw that crappy movie called Annapolis, filmed in Philadelphia, that's what it's all about. It is free and open to the public. Come on out and watch the midshipmen slug it out amongst each other. Actually, there's going to be 2 people that are up for the 4-time Brigade Championship, 1 a female, which will be making history. Colonial Players is running their latest play, The Book of Days. That's going through March 14th with performances on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You want to check that out at Colonial Players. And if you are having a flashback to the 80s, or you'd like to have a flashback to the 80s, big hair, acid wash jeans, you know, that kind of stuff. Kicks. Yes, the Big Hair Kicks band of the 80s will be playing at Union Jacks. That gets underway at 8 p.m. Tickets are still available. You can get them at UJSAnnapolis.com. On Saturday, it is Leap Day. You can get a free pancake at Miss Shirley's all day if you are born on Leap Day. But that is also the start of Annapolis Restaurant Week. It does go for a full week. And boy, there are some great restaurants in there this year, and the prices can't be beat. You can find out more information at AnnapolisRestaurantWeek.com, or if you want to sign up to our newsletter, you can go on to eyeonannapolis.net. There's a couple links there to sign up for our newsletter. We'll be sending out a newsletter on Saturday morning, which will have links to all the menus and ways to make reservations. And I do recommend reservations whenever possible. If you didn't get your fix of Kicks on Friday night, Kicks is coming back on Saturday night for the second show at Union Jacks, 8 p.m. again. You can get tickets at UJSAnnapolis.com. Saturday morning from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., it is WRNR's Holistic Health Fair. This is like their 8th or 9th, might even be their 10th one that they've had. This is over there at the Graduate Hotel in Annapolis. If you've ever wondered about cryotherapy, CBD oil, chiropractic, acupuncture, all sorts of holistic health solutions, this is the place for you. It is free. There will be some little bit of snacking available and entertainment as they always have. Again, the WRNR Holistic Health Fair from 10 to 3 at the Graduate Hotel in Annapolis. Not a whole lot going on Sunday other than Restaurant Week does continue. And I tell you, I will be taking advantage of that all week long. I have my map planned out, pretty much similar to the way I do the film festival. All right, there's our suggestions of things you may want to take a look at this weekend. I hope you enjoy 1 or 2 or 3 or maybe all of them, maybe none of them. That's okay too. But whatever you do, please do it safely because we want to see you here on Monday. Other than that, have a great weekend.
Have you ever been to the Annapolis Mall when it opens for the day? Maybe you've noticed the line of folks waiting to get into the Apple Store. As you may know, I'm a Mac user, and today's episode of the Daily News Brief, in fact, all of the episodes of the Daily News Brief have been produced right here on my Mac computer. What you might not know about is MacMedics. They were founded here in Annapolis in 1989, and they are an Apple-authorized premium service provider, the only one in the Baltimore, Annapolis, D.C. area. And what that means to you is that they repair all Apple devices, including the iPhone screens and batteries, all without an appointment. And most repairs are done the same day, usually within 2 hours. They also sell everything except the iPhone and the watch for the same price as Apple. I don't know why you would go anywhere else. Give them a call at 410-757-MACS, or if you're not into the whole letter thing, 410-757-6227. Stop by their retail store in Severna Park on Benfield Road or their service center in Lanham, right off of Route 50. Or you can always check them out online at macmedics.com. I'll tell you, they've saved me quite a few times, and I know they can save you.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.